Hey, what's up guys? Sloth King here. Today we're going to be working on the 2009 Mustang over here. It's V6 and we are going to be replacing the idler pulley on it. And it should take about maybe 10 minutes to do. So this will apply to years 2005 to 2014 for the V6 models. And yeah, you won't need too many tools. Let me show you what you're going to need and let's jump right into this. First things first, you will need a new pulley. This is the part number right here. It is a Litton's model. They make really good pulleys. I'll have this in the link in the description below. You're going to need a ratchet, a breaker bar, and on the breaker bar, I prefer to have a 3/8 adapter on it because that's the size you need for the tensioner, so we can get that out of the way and loosen the belt. You will need primarily a 15mm socket to take off your pulley. You will need an 8mm socket or a flathead screwdriver to remove the clamps that hold down your intake hose. And then finally, you will need a torque wrench. This will get torqued down to 35 foot-pounds. Some sources say 18, but every other source I found, it's 35 foot-pounds. And that's it. So let's start doing this. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and remove this hose right here. So right here, you will notice the silver tab. You're going to push it to the right and then push on it. And then the hose will pop right off. And then you're going to see our clamp right here. And then right here, you can use your flathead on it or the 8mm. All right, now that the hose is removed, let's go ahead and move that over here. This is our idler pulley that we're going to be replacing. All right, so our tensioner is located right down here. So we need to go ahead and release the tension on the belt. Slide part of the belt off just on this pulley, and then we can go ahead and remove this. All right, so there is a little square hole that you put your the end of the breaker bar in, and then we're just going to turn it counterclockwise. It will loosen the tension. I'm just going to pop it off of the alternator. Let it just dangle there. And we're gonna keep this on our radiator hose, it'll be fine. Next, we can go ahead and remove our pulley. All right, let's go ahead and put our socket on. And then that's about it. All right, that's off. Now let's go ahead and compare this pulley with a new one. All right, so here's the new pulley. And then here's our old one. The only thing that looks different, they're the same width. The only thing that looks different is the face of it, but that is totally okay. Now, we need to make sure that we save this washer on the back because we want even pressure along the bearing. So, this part, it will get like caught on the threads. So you just need to go ahead and just like pry on it for a second and then you can screw it off. Once I take this off, you will see the prongs that will hold on to the threads. See the prongs right there? The prongs need to face towards the engine. All right, here's our bolt. This piece is still intact. This is what goes in the middle of the bearing. I don't know if I can pick this up on camera or on my mic. but it's not sliding super freely. I don't know if you could hear that well, but you could hear just a little bit of grinding on it, but might as well replace it now before it seizes up. So we're going to put the bolt on, make sure it's not contacting any of this. We will put a washer on here. This is probably the longest part of the whole repair. All right, so now that is on, this is what it should look like. Let's go ahead and throw it back on. All right, let's snug it down. And let's go ahead and torque it. Remember, this is 35 foot-pounds. There we go. Now, before we do anything else, let's verify that it spins freely. Yep, there we go. Now let's go ahead and put our belt back on. All right, let's go ahead and move the tensioner counterclockwise. Let's lift up on the belt. Make sure that your belt did not slide off your other pulleys. And then we're just going to slide the belt up and over. Verify that it's on your pulleys and it's all good. Now just release the tension, and there we go. Belt is back on. All right, last thing to do is throw our intake hose back on. And you don't have to make these super tight. You want them on snug, but you don't want to deform the hose. There we go. And then remember this one over here for your air box, it's just made out of plastic, so you don't want to completely kill the whole thing and crush it. When you start feeling some resistance, you're good. Final thing to do is to pop this plastic hose back on, and you're done. Alrighty guys, there you go. That's how you go ahead and replace the idler pulley on your V6 Mustang. Not too hard, took maybe 10 minutes to do. Hardest part, like I showed you, was putting that that lock washer on your pulley, and that's it. So hopefully that gets rid of any kind of weird noises that you've been hearing in the engine bay, because you'll hear like a grinding sound like that if it's going bad, especially if you spin it. If you guys ever rode any skateboards or anything like that and you heard the wheel bearings on those just sound like trash, that's literally the same noise that you would hear in the engine bay as well. So another thing to look out for is if you've seen any kind of wear marks or anything like that on your belt, like it looks like it's just been, like the backside is super worn and like glazed over, there's a chance that you have an idler pulley that is slowly starting to seize up. So you want to check them all out and make sure that you replace them all. This will apply to any vehicle out there. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you did, awesome. Glad I could help you guys out. If you want to support the channel, you can go ahead and pick up one of these hats. I have 2 types of t-shirts as well. I'll have the link to my shop in the description below. Be sure to check that out. And like always, I'll catch you guys on the next ride.